Curious how to unlock your body's hidden potential? In this video, we'll explore the incredible journey of Wim Hof. He's known as the Iceman, and his groundbreaking Wim Hof method combines controlled breathing, cold exposure, and mental focus. And this method has been scientifically shown to boost immunity, reduce stress, and even influence the nervous system. Whether you're looking to enhance your physical endurance or improve your mental resilience, discover how you can tap into your inner strength with the Wim Hof method. I'm Mark Roach, and I'm here to share my journey through complex PTSD with you here on Transcendent, my YouTube channel. Welcome. I take cold showers every morning. And I do it to break out of the state and the patterns that I may wake in, and begin to try to exert some influence over the positivity that I try to imbue into every day that I have. And I really picked up on some of this through some athletic training methods, and I stumbled into this work by Wim Hof, who uses breath work as well as cold exposure to and great willpower to really kind of defy a lot of what doctors had felt like were limitations on the human body. So let me share some research that I did on Wim Hof here. If you like this, tell me, and I can, or you can do your own research. I'd be happy to speak more about how Wim Hof's methods have been extremely helpful in my recovery from complex PTSD. But the history of the work and of Wim Hof, what's called the Iceman's journey to global influence. He is known worldwide as the Iceman, and he's a Dutch extreme athlete who's captivated the global wellness community with his seemingly superhuman ability to withstand extreme cold. Over the past few decades, Hof has broken numerous records, developed a unique method for improving physical and mental health, and gained a massive following. His method, known as the Wim Hof method, combines controlled breathing, cold exposure, and mental focus to help individuals tap into their innate potential for resilience and well-being. Hof's journey from a relatively obscure figure to a global health leader is a fascinating story of personal discovery, scientific curiosity, and public acclaim. His work not only pushed the boundaries of human endurance, but also challenged conventional scientific understanding of the body's physiological limits. This introduction explores the history of Wim Hof's life, his extraordinary feats, and the development of the Wim Hof method. His early life and inspiration. Wim Hof was born on April 20, 1959 in Sittard, Netherlands. From an early age, he exhibited a natural curiosity about the human body and mind. However, it wasn't until he was 17 years old that he had an experience that would change his life forever. While walking near a canal in Amsterdam on a cold winter day, Hof felt an inexplicable urge to jump into the freezing water. He later described this moment as a profound connection with nature that left him feeling invigorated and alive. This spontaneous plunge into icy water marked the beginnings of his lifelong fascination with cold exposure. Hof began experimenting with cold immersions regularly. Returning to icy waters day after day, he found that by controlling his breathing and focusing his mind, he could endure long periods in freezing temperatures without experiencing the usual discomfort or danger associated with hypothermia. Over time, he developed techniques that allowed him to push his body beyond what was thought possible. However, it was not just physical endurance that drew Hof to these practices. In 1995, tragedy struck when his first wife, Olea Hoff, took her own life after struggling with depression. Left to care for their 4 children alone, Hoff turned to cold exposure as a way to cope with his grief. He later credited cold water immersion with helping him heal emotionally during one of the darkest periods of his life. This personal tragedy also fueled his desire to share what he had learned with others in hopes of helping them overcome their own struggles. Well, Wim Hof had several extraordinary feats and world records. His ability to withstand extreme cold soon caught the attention of the public and the media. Over the years, he set 26 world records for feats that defy conventional understanding of human endurance. Some of his most remarkable accomplishments include running a half marathon above the Arctic Circle barefoot while wearing only shorts, swimming 66 meters underneath ice, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in shorts, running a full marathon in the Namib Desert without drinking water, standing in a container filled with ice cubes for more than 112 minutes. These feats earned him widespread recognition as the Iceman and led to invitations from scientists who were eager to study how he could perform such extraordinary tasks without suffering harm. So let's talk about the development of the Wim Hof method. As Wim Hof continued to push his physical limits, he began to formalize the techniques that allowed him to endure extreme conditions. These techniques eventually evolved into what is known as the Wim Hof method, a 3-part practice designed to enhance both physical and mental resilience. These 3 components. Number 1, controlled breathing. The breathing technique involves cycles of deep inhalations followed by relaxed exhalations. After several rounds of this hyperventilation type breathing pattern, practitioners hold their breath for extended periods before taking one final deep breath. This process is believed to increase oxygen levels in the body while reducing carbon dioxide levels. 2, cold exposure. Cold therapy is another essential pillar of the Wim Hof method. Practitioners gradually expose themselves to cold conditions, starting with cold showers and eventually progressing to ice baths or outdoor activities and freezing activities. The goal is not to train the body to tolerate cold. The goal is not only to train the body to tolerate cold, but also to activate physiological responses that improve circulation and immune function. 3, mental focus. The 3rd pillar emphasizes commitment and mental focus. Hof teaches that mastering one's mind is crucial for overcoming discomfort or fear during cold exposure or breath-holding exercises. This mental discipline is key to unlocking greater physical capabilities. Hof's motto is, "What I am capable of, everyone can learn." That respects his belief that anyone can achieve extraordinary things by practicing these techniques. He insists that his abilities are not unique, but rather accessible through training and through dedication. So how has science validated this? Well, Wim Hof's early feats were often dismissed as mere stunts or anomalies, but scientific research has since validated many aspects of his method. One groundbreaking study conducted by Radboud University Medical Center in 2011 demonstrated that Hof could voluntarily influence his autonomic nervous system, a part of the nervous system previously thought beyond conscious control. In this study, researchers injected participants trained by Wim Hof method with an endotoxin, a substance that typically triggers flu-like symptoms. Remarkably, those who practiced his methods showed fewer symptoms compared to a control group. They also exhibited increased levels of epinephrine or adrenaline and reduced levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines, suggesting that the Wim Hof method could modulate both immune response and inflammation. These findings were significant because they challenged long-held assumptions about human physiology. Until then, it was widely believed that people could not consciously influence their autonomic functions, such as heart rate or immune response. However, the Wim Hof practitioners demonstrated otherwise by activating their sympathetic nervous system through controlled breathing and cold exposure. Subsequent studies have explored other potential benefits of the Wim Hof method, including its effects on mood regulation, pain suppression, stress reduction, and even altitude sickness prevention. While more research is needed to fully understand all of its mechanisms and long-term effects on health outcomes, like autoimmune disease or chronic inflammation conditions like arthritis or Crohn's disease, the initial results are promising enough for continued investigation. Wim Hof has had a global influence, and he's popular, as I mentioned. As scientific interest grew around the world, the Wim Hof method's potential health benefits, as it grew, so did public interest. And Wim Hof quickly became one of the most recognized figures within wellness circles worldwide. His workshops attract thousands of people, professional athletes seeking performance enhancement to individuals looking for natural ways to manage stress or to boost immunity during challenging times like pandemics, or recover from chronic illness like Lyme disease or arthritis or Crohn's disease or fibromyalgia or depression or anxiety or PTSD or insomnia or burnout or trauma recovery or addiction recovery or cancer recovery or diabetes management or cardiovascular health or weight loss or fat burning or muscle building or anti-aging or longevity or biohacking or self-mastery, or peak performance, or flow state, or a creativity boost. I'm Mark Roach, wishing you all the best.